Good afternoon. Welcome to the news update at 12 on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I am Anu Oluwapo Ido. The federal government has fixed December 2028 as deadline for Nigeria's final transition from analog to digital television broadcasting. Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission, Charles Ibuebu, said the analog switch-off will be implemented in phases, with future stages covering pay television, studio development, and content production centers. He detailed that audience measurement has already begun in Abuja after a successful pilot in about 7,000 homes in Lagos. Ibuebu said the transition will free up broadcast spectrum valued at over $50 billion for use by sectors such as telecommunications and financial services. He added that the NBC is developing a policy to manage obsolete analog broadcasting equipment in line with international best practices. Nigeria is set to host French President Emmanuel Macron on state visit aimed at strengthening bilateral relations and expanding cooperation between the two countries. The announcement was made by the French ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Marc von Bostier, who said the visit will allow Presidents Macron and Bola Tinubu to review progress on bilateral roadmap and outline new areas of cooperation. The ambassador said Nigeria and France will remain committed to working together on security, agriculture, trade, and regional development, describing the relationship as one built on equality, mutual respect, and shared interest. Moving on, the Federal High Court has amended its 2026 pre-election practice directions, introducing virtual hearings, electronic case notifications, and weekend and public holiday court filings to speed up the resolution of the election-related cases ahead of the 2027 general elections. The new rules, which took effect on July 14, also empower the Chief Judge to transfer pre-election cases across judicial divisions and assign judges to hear matters anywhere in the country. The amendment retained the two adjournment limits but prohibit adjournment requests on scheduled hearing days and allow courts to impose costs on parties or lawyers who file applications solely to delay proceedings. The court said the revised practice directions are designed to ensure speedy, efficient and fair determination of pre-election disputes while strengthening electronic case management and preserving constitutional timelines for hearing election matters. And our Senate President Godswill Akpabio says the National Assembly belongs to Nigerians and was established to serve the people, not shut them out of the democratic process. Speaking at the opening of the National Assembly Open Week in Abuja, Akpabio said Parliament was created to promote public participation in governance and give citizens a better understanding of the work of the legislature. He added that the initiative is aimed at strengthening public confidence in democratic institutions. Akpabio then urged Nigerians to engage actively with their lawmakers, saying constructive criticism and public participation are essential to making Parliament more effective and ensuring citizens are fairly represented. Now, the Senate has urged Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde to withdraw its call for a United Nations-led investigation into the abduction and rescue of pupils and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State. The resolution followed deliberations on the motion commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the armed forces and other security agencies for securing the victims' release after spending 56 days in captivity. Our correspondent, Damlolo Daudu, reports.
The Senate has called on the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde to withdraw his request for the United Nations-led investigation into the abduction and subsequent rescue of school children and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State. The resolution followed an additional prayer moved by Senator Adams Oshiomhole during plenary, while lawmakers considered a motion commending President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the armed forces and other security agencies for securing the release of the victims after 56 days in captivity.
Governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue. I thought that was the most unstatemanly. It was carrying partisan politics too far, and this Senate should condemn his unguided statement. This is one case in which our armed forces have shown that without paying ransom, even if it meant that these children and some of the elders had to be in captivity for almost 2 months, that the armed forces were working quietly to have these rescue operations, which as well captured in this motion.
The The substantive motion was sponsored by the Senate leader, Senator Okpeyemi Bamidele, and co-sponsors by 108 senators, while Senator Anyekan Basi seconded the motion. During the debate, Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari, whose constituency includes the area where the pupils were adopted, expressed appreciation to the federal government and the military for securing the children's release.
The government will be able to help us to rebuild schools around that area and put probably a police post, because it's a very, very, very remote area, Mr. President. And pending that time, we want them to help us redistribute those keys to schools in the town. Mr. President, we appreciate, on behalf of my people and my constituents, we appreciate the federal government and we thank them for bringing our children back alive.
Lawmakers also called on the military to intensify effort to rescue other victims still being held by kidnappers across the country.
I commend Mr. President for the leadership shown, as well as the armed forces and other security agencies that participated in these rescue operations. They have shown commendable bravery, patriotism, zeal, and enthusiasm in the discharge of their constitutional mandate.
I'd like to add a vital part to this motion, please, and it has to do with the provision of psychological support, trauma counseling, and rehabilitation for the rescued victims to facilitate their full recovery from the trauma. And if it may be extended to every other kidnapped victims, we shouldn't just rescue them and expect them to reintegrate into the society.
And now to the foreign scene. Sierra Leone has dropped treason charges against former President Ernest Bai Koroma over his alleged involvement in the failed 2023 coup attempt. The Attorney General's office said criminal proceedings against Koroma have been discontinued, allowing him to return to Sierra Leone at any time after completing his medical treatment in Nigeria. The charges stemmed from the November 2023 attacks on military and police facilities that left 21 people dead and led to the arrest of at least 80 suspects. Political observers say the decision to drop the case may be aimed at promoting national unity. The United States has carried out a fourth consecutive night of airstrikes on Iran as President Donald Trump threatened further attacks unless Tehran returns to negotiations. On its part, Iran warned it could block additional energy shipping routes if Washington continues efforts to control key maritime corridors. The latest escalation also saw renewed attacks on Jordan, Bahrain, and Kuwait after Tehran vowed to continue retaliatory strikes against the United States. The renewed hostilities have effectively ended the interim ceasefire, raising concerns over a wider regional conflict as both sides continue to exchange military threats. And now talking sports, Spain goalkeeper Unai Simon has moved into joint third place on FIFA's all-time World Cup clean sheet rankings after helping Spain reach the 2026 World Cup final. Simon has recorded 8 clean sheets in 11 World Cup appearances, equaling the records of Jan Juglot, Emerson Leao, Sepp Maier, Tafarel, Thibaut Courtois, and Hugo Lloris. Simon's latest achievement follows Spain's 2-0 semi-final victory over France, with the goalkeeper conceding just 4 goals in 11 World Cup matches and maintaining the best goals conceded average among the leading goalkeepers in FIFA's rankings. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television, Ibadan. I'm Anu Oluwapo saying thank you for watching.